welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Ready, cash again! Experience the party! Experience the vibes! Experience the road! This carnival season, get the full experience with Ready Cash and pay nothing for 60 days. Take a loan of 3,000 and more for Carnival 2024 and make your first payment after Carnival. Plus, you get to enter and win your loan back. All you need is your ID, proof of address, job letter, payslip, and 2 references. Visit the nearest Courts or Ready Cash location today. Experience Carnival 2024 with Courts Ready Cash. Ready when you are. Ready Cash again.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James, has highlighted the incentives that are made available to investors in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Minister James, speaking at a press briefing recently, made clear that these incentives are not just available to foreign investors, but locals who wish to operate within the tourism sector as well. We hear more from Minister James.
We provide a lot of incentives to investors who are coming into the tourism sector. And I'm not just talking about foreign investment, but locals. If you have had the opportunity to stay at an Airbnb or a small boutique hotel, be rest assured that every single one of those accommodations, they received concessions from even the bed linen and the sheets that you sleep on in these accommodations. They come in duty free. There's concessions in relation to a construction order, which we grant to allow for a waiver of importation on construction materials. There's a tax exemption. And all of these things are available to local investors who are coming into the tourism and hospitality space.
That was the Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James. Minister James emphasized that these incentives are not just for foreigners looking to invest, but to locals who want to invest as well, whether they are entering the tourism sector or wish to expand their current operations. He gave the assurance that accommodations will be made for them by the government. 6 contestants for this year's Miss SVG pageant were introduced on Saturday, June 15th, amidst glitz and glamour at the pool deck of the La Vue Boutique Hotel and Beach Club. The lineup includes contestant number 1, Alicia Beach, representing JCI St. Vincent, contestant number 2, Atalia Gloucester, sponsored by Flow, contestant number 3, Kiwana Hackshaw, supported by Lynch Caribbean Brokers, contestant number 4, Felicia Hector, representing Instacash, contestant number 5, Alvina Pinder, sponsored by Grenadine House, and contestant number 6, Zeta Stevens, supported by KCCU. During the unveiling, it was announced that the La Vue would be this year's title sponsor, marking a significant partnership for the pageant. Chairperson of the Beauty Shows Committee, Avia Charles, expressed enthusiasm about La Vue becoming the home of Miss SVG, emphasizing the heightened prestige this move brings to the event. Ms. Charles also noted the expanded involvement of Republic Bank in this year's festivities. Additionally, the theme for the community service project was revealed as She Leads, aligning with the pageant's commitment to empowerment. The ECGC Culinary Cook-Off will make a return, adding culinary flair to the pageant proceedings. The 6 contestants, dubbed the Stunning 6 by 2022 Miss SVG Miss Jada Ross, will compete for the coveted Miss SVG crown on October 5th under the theme, A Royal Dream. Still on the local scene, Airbnb providers here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are being called on to get registered with the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Tourism Authority. This call came from SVG's Tourism Minister Carlos James. Minister James said the provider's registration will help in producing an accurate account of the nation's room stock, as well as to ensure that persons have the appropriate licenses and the best service possible is provided. We hear more from Minister James.
Going back again to Airbnb providers, service providers, I'm encouraging you to work with us. Let us see how we can get you registered with the Tourism Authority. Let us see how we can get you facilitated because we want to know the available room stock that's out there. We have a fair idea of what is available. We want to ensure that persons are licensed. We want to ensure that you provide the best and most suitable accommodation to visitors to our islands. And that's why we have to work on this strategic partnership with the SOG Hotel and Tourism Association, the Tourism Authority, the Ministry of Tourism, and all of your stakeholders in relation to this venture.
That was the Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James. The tourism minister's call for registration comes as SVG expects to see one of the busiest Vincy Mass periods in history and as visitors flood into the country for the ongoing ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup. On to news in the region. Grenada is awaiting results from the Caribbean Public Health Agency CAVA amid an outbreak of gastroenteritis. Grenada's Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles on Friday confirmed that Grenada is awaiting the result of samples sent to CAFA in Trinidad and Tobago to determine the type of virus or bacteria that is responsible for an outbreak of gastroenteritis on the island. The latest Epidemiology Weekly report stated that as of week 23, or the period June 3rd to 9th, Grenadian health officials recorded 155 cases, which is an increase of 27% when compared to week 22. Gastroenteritis is described as acute or sudden onset of diarrhea with or without fever. A person with the gastro will experience 3 or more loose or watery stools in a 24-hour period, with or without dehydration, vomiting, and or visible blood. Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader, Kamla Persad-Besassa, is calling for paid paternity leave to be implemented for all fathers in the country's public and private sectors. In a statement for Father's Day, Persad-Besassa said fathers face many challenges and there should be policies that address these issues, including paid paternity leave. I also advocate the implementation of state programs and policies which address these critical issues, as well as the introduction of paid paternity leave for all fathers in both the public and private sectors, TNT's opposition leader said. She urged all to commit to building a society that truly empowers and supports fathers, ensuring that they have the relevant opportunities and resources to be the best parents they can be. On the international scene, the body of an American tourist has reportedly been found on the Greek island of Mathraki, adding to the list of foreigners missing or dead during a record-setting heatwave. A Dutchman was also found dead on Samos over the weekend following the recent death of British TV presenter Dr. Michael Mosley on the island of Simi. Another American, Albert Calabet, is among at least 3 others reported missing. The U.S. State Department has been approached for comment, but none has been made. The American found dead on Mathraki was a 55-year-old man, Greek public broadcaster ERT and Athens news agency reported on Sunday. The holidaymaker, who has not been named, is said to have last been spotted alive in a bar last week. His body was found on a deserted beach on the small island. It has been taken to a hospital on the larger nearby island of Corfu for an autopsy. High temperatures are set to persist in Greece this week. The country is suffering its earliest heat wave on record, with winds from North Africa pushing up the temperature. Finally, in sports, Bangladesh overcame a spirited performance from Nepal at the Anasville Stadium to win by 21 runs and seal their place in the Super 8 stage of the T20 World Cup. In a tense encounter, Nepal fell short of their first win over a test-playing side as they failed to chase a target of just 107. Tigers seamer Tanzim Hassan's magical 4 for 7 triggered a top-order collapse to 26 for 5, but late resistance from Dipendra Singh Airy with 31 kept Nepal's hopes alive. The associate nation was in the game with 23 needed from the last 17 balls, but Mustafizur Rahman bowled a wicket maiden in the 19th over to all but secure victory. The win sees Bangladesh join India, Afghanistan, and Australia in Group 1 for the next round and eliminated the Netherlands. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 o'clock for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
At Quartz Optical, two are better than one. Be always ready for the occasions with a second pair of eyewear. Find your fit with a pair. Get 50% off on all men's frames and sunglasses, plus 30% off all other purchases. Ray-Ban, Armani, Converse, Vogue, and much more. Get that frame today. Shop with no cash and pay later. Plus, you can book your eye examination appointment online today on www.quartzoptical.com. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Have you ever heard about Logs Cash and Carry? Well, let me tell you, Logs Cash and Carry provides retail products at affordable prices, making them competitive with major supermarkets.